Hey everybody, good evening. I know I haven't done a haul in a long while. I've just been tired and kind of busy lately and doing some other projects. But tonight for dinner, I just thought I'd venture from my meal plan and alter it just the tiniest bit because I was just gonna make some chicken katsu, which in the air fryer, which is basically to me chicken with the panko on top. But what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make some katsu curry because I've been in the mood for some of that. And so I have here some Japanese curry here. I buy the mild because I am feeding my partner and he's not big into spicy food. Me, I like the medium one better. But anyways, I love this golden brand. It's golden curry from S&B. It's a Japanese curry. I grew up eating this stuff, so I just love it. When I open it later, you'll see it. To me, it reminds me of like a chocolate bar because it's like a bar of curry that you just break up into your soup. So that's going to be the curry. It's going to go over some plain brown rice, which I already have made in the fridge. And then for the katsu part, I thought I'd do it a little bit differently. Instead of just my boneless, skinless thighs, covered in panko and air fried, I thought, I'm going to take my boneless, skinless thighs. I'm going to wrap it in a half a sheet of this roasted nori, and then I'm going to put a thin layer of mayo over it because I need something to have the breadcrumbs adhere to the chicken, and then dip it in this. And will put some salt and pepper on top of the chicken beforehand. I'll probably mix some like garlic or onion powder in with the panko. I like to do that just to give it an extra flavor. And because we're going to have the chicken katsu cooked in the air fryer, we don't need meat in our curry. So all I'm going to put in here, I have some garlic I'm going to add as well. I could either be lazy and use the pre-minced garlic that comes in a bottle, or I do have some fresh garlic that I could dice up. But either way, I'm gonna have some garlic and onions, and then I have here some celery that I happen to have in the fridge, and some baby carrots that I had in the fridge. So it'll be a very simple curry, no meat, just a couple of aromatics and some vegetables. And then my partner also wanted some Chapaguri, I think it is. Anyways, it's like two different type of instant noodles mixed up, and you mix the sauces together, and you eat it, and you drain the soup, and then you mix the sauces, and it comes out really good. It's simple. It's a lot of starch. I think he'll probably eat the noodles with the chicken, and then since I'm in the mood for the curry, I'll have the katsu curry part of the dinner. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm set up to go. There are 3 chicken thighs in here. I usually buy the Kirkland chicken boneless skinless thighs from Costco. So in one bag, usually get about 3. So I um, laid them out so that they're one flat piece. I got some regular Berman's mayo from Aldi here, and then I took 3 sheets of the roasted nori and I cut them in half. And then here it's a tray of my panko breadcrumbs, and I mixed in a little bit of onion and garlic powder. And just for reference, I am using the ones I usually get from Aldi. As you can see, this one's almost empty. I'll probably end up using the rest of this. So this is the order I'm gonna do it. Chicken, nori, mayo, breadcrumbs. Wish me luck. Okay, so here is the 3 chicken breasts that are coated in the panko and also rolled in the nori. As you can see, kind of that black strip in the middle. I ended up using 4 out of the 6 half sheets that I used. I did have the forethought to separate, so I put them away from the raw chicken. So the 2 pieces that I didn't use can get put away or eaten as a snack because it is so delicious. And I have a little bit of extra panko left, so I think before I air fry, I'll sprinkle a little bit more on top. And as for my panko right here, I am going to seal it up with my vacuum sealer device to keep them nice and fresh. Okay, so next will be air frying. Okay, so chicken is in the air fryer. I've set it to 360. I'm going to run it for about 15 minutes and then I'll flip it. So what I've done is I took my little Evo oil sprayer that has vegetable oil in it. I spritzed the inside of the air fryer. Then I laid down two pieces. I spritzed them with the oil. Then I put this little silver trivet thing, spritz the top of that, and then lay the third piece of chicken and spritz that with oil. So now that the air fryer is nice and hot, I'm going to air fry it for 15 minutes before, and then when it's done, I'm going to flip it over because these pieces of thigh are pretty thick. And once again, 360. As you can see, 360, 15 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm going to get started on the curry, which shouldn't take too long. I have some vegetable oil here. I'm going to put at the bottom of the pan when it heats up. I have my vegetables. I did end up just mincing up some fresh garlic on my own. And this curry does require 2¼ cup of water. So let's just get started. I'm going to, once the oil heats up, I'm going to cook the onions for a little bit, then add my garlic and then throw those in. Once they're cooked for a few minutes, I'm going to add the water and the curry and then just let it simmer for, I don't know, 15 minutes or so while the chicken is cooking. The onions are a little softer. They've been cooking for a few minutes and I've since added in my garlic. Cook that for about 30 seconds in the oil. And then I'm going to add the rest of my vegetables. Okay, while the vegetables are cooking for a few minutes to get a little bit softer, I'll show you the curry. So I opened it up and it just peels off, and then I pushed it from the bottom, and as you can see, it's a big block, and it's got these blocks on the bottom where you could break it off easily. That's why I said it reminds me of chocolate. It's actually curry. So when you add it to the vegetables in the water, you can break it up into their respective blocks so it dissolves more quickly. So as you can see, the water is at a boil, and I broke up the curry into its blocks, and I'm just going to mix it and until the curry melts and is well incorporated. Then turn the fire down and let it simmer for a bit. And I don't know if you can hear, but the air fryer is done, so I'm going to go check on that in a minute. Okay, this is about a minute or so of mixing. As you can see, it's mostly dissolved and it's gotten a lot thicker. So I've turned the fire down to low. I'm going to put a cover on it. I'm just going to let it simmer and absorb, let the vegetables absorb the taste, get a little softer. Meanwhile, I'm going to deal with the chicken that just finished its first 15 minutes in the air fryer. Air fryer's done. Let's see. Ooh, looking pretty good. So I'm just going to flip this over, and I'm going to spritz some oil on the opposite side and probably cook it for, I would say, like maybe 8 minutes, because the chicken looks almost done. So it should be good. Okay, so this is it flipped around and spritzed with oil. Judging from the mess on the plate, I think I'm going to go another 10 minutes before I check the internal temperature of this chicken. There you go, 10 minutes, 360. And then we'll check the temperature of the chicken when it comes out. And if it is, over 165, then we know it's cooked. Okay, for the last part of dinner, I don't know if you can hear that the air fryer is cooking the last bit of the chicken. I'm going to make a noodle dish that combines these two instant noodles, the Nori and the Chapaguri. You basically cook the 2 packets of noodles together in the water, which I have started boiling, and you take part of this spicy seasoning. You only use maybe half. Depends how much spice you like your noodles, and then you use all of the seasoning and all the vegetable seasoning and the sesame oil at the very end. So you cook the noodles, you drain it, then you throw in all the seasonings and half of the chili powder or the spicy seasoning, and then you serve it up. So let me go get started with that. Okay, so this is what you get in each packet. Out of the Chapaguri, you get some dried vegetables, sauce, and the sesame oil. And then out of the other one, the Nori, you get the dried vegetables, and this is the spicy seasoning you only want to use about half of. Currently, the noodles are boiling nicely. Okay, the chicken is done. I'm gonna check the top piece. Give me a second. I'm gonna put this down on a heat-safe surface. Okay, so the thermometer reads 82.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's check this top piece. Oh, 175. 176 is definitely cooked. Let's check this bottom piece here. 180, 186. And we'll check one more bottom piece, the one under here. It's about 189. So they're all definitely cooked. But what I'm gonna do is I want these pieces on the bottom to be browner. So I'm gonna remove this wire grate and this piece of chicken and let it rest. And I'm just gonna cook the others for maybe 3 minutes just to give it a little browner look. Okay, they've been cooking about 5 minutes in this nice boiling water. I tested them, they feel pretty cooked, so I'm gonna cut the fire off, dump out the hot water, and then add my seasonings. Okay, so these are the noodles that have been drained. I added the whole packet of sauce that came with the Chapaguri. Gotta mix it up a little bit more. Added all the vegetables. I added those first to give them a little more time to rehydrate in the steam and the oil noodles. And then added half the packet of the spicy seasoning. And then it comes with a little bit of sesame oil, but we love sesame oil. So I have a little bit more here. Ooh, we're running low of this Kodoyo Japanese pure sesame oil. So I'm going to add a little bit more to it for flavor and make the noodles a little less sticky. Okay, chicken's done. Leftover rice is warming up, and I will show you the curry. Okay, this is the curry. Everything's nice and melded. The curry blocks are all melted. The vegetables are nice and cooked, and I think they've absorbed all the flavor. So this is ready to get poured over the rice. And then the noodles. So we are almost ready for dinner.